That's right, Root for Sports podcast, back in with the very special edition as always. It's become customary around here. Thursdays with the third. Here we are with Ron Warner the third. What's happening, Bubs?
What's up, buddy?
What's up? Opening day baseball, man, so we got a lot to get to already, right?
Yep, just basically took a personal day today and watched every game over multiple platforms, so ready to go.
That, you see, that's what a true baseball fan is all about, calling in sick to work and watching ball games.
Well, let me just clarify this in case anyone from work is listening. I didn't call in sick. I took an actual personal day because it's like a holiday for me, so.
All right, fair enough. I'm glad we clarified that. We got to clear that up. We don't need you getting fired from your beautiful job that you have.
Thank you.
You're a hard worker, my man, so let's keep that going. Your team didn't start today. They open up tomorrow, but let's jump into the Mets real quick because that's my team, and it was a typical Met game, 1-0. They're either going to win or they're going to lose, but this time they were on the winning side. Johan Santana comes out, gives us 5 solid innings, and as usual, the bullpen for the Mets, I mean the no-name bullpen that we have, and a few new faces, they come in, hold down the fort. 1-0 Mets victory over the Atlanta Braves. I'm a happy guy. Did you watch the game?
You got to be happy as a Met fan for what Santana gave you today. I mean, 5 innings. He didn't have the velocity of the old Santana, but it doesn't matter because the difference between the off-speed and the fastball was enough to keep everyone off balance. Got in a little trouble with being wild in the 5th inning, but got through it and gave you everything you would want. And then the bullpen came in and just shut it down.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Santana gave us everything we could possibly want and even more. I mean, his pitch count started getting a little high in the 5th inning, and they were monitoring it. They wanted to keep him under 90 for the game. So, great job. And I only expect him to get better as the year goes on. Hopefully, he can stay healthy as the year goes on.
Yo, live update. Fight in the Cleveland-Toronto extra inning game. This is how we do it on opening day. You get live updates from extra inning games.
That's fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Shoes getting in fights. It's been a great day so far. But, yeah, I mean, the Mets in the 6th inning, Torres walks, Murphy gets the hit, Wright gets the hit, they go up 1-0, bullpen shuts it down, and it's a great opening day win for them.
Yep, I'll take it because we know that the Mets aren't going to score a lot of runs this year, so their pitching is going to have to be just absolutely spectacular. I mean, they had their chances. There's a lot of young guys on the team that are trying to make a name for themselves, so we'll see as it goes along. Not a lot of scoring around the league in general today, as a matter of fact. Like you just mentioned.
I took a note at 2:25, there were still no runs in any of the games, and I believe the Mets scored the first run somewhere around 3, so just a lot of good starting pitching, which you'd expect from everyone's number 1 starters. Verlander had himself a good day. Strasburg had himself a good day. Yep. Lester pitched pretty good.
Yep. Ryan Dempsey had 10 strikeouts.
There was a lot of good pitching today, which it's funny because usually for opening day, the weather is cold, so the pitchers usually are ahead of the hitters, but the weather was pretty good out there, but just some good performances from the pitchers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Even, like I said, Ryan Dempsey had 10 strikeouts today. There was good pitching between Roy Halladay and even Eric Bedard had a good performance for the Pittsburgh Pirates today.
A lot of nice pitching. Some shaky bullpen, though. Valverde blew it. He ended up getting the win, and then Masterson pitched a great game, and Chris Perez comes in looking like he's just been eating all off-season and basically blows that game open, and that game's still going on right now on the 14th, or 15th, I think.
And there you go. You see, and just on a fantasy note alone, I was just on a sports podcast with a buddy of mine, JD, over at fantasyworldorder.net, and we were talking about the closer position fantasy in general and how we all put too much emphasis on that because it's really just one category. It doesn't really affect ERA and strikeouts too much. And the real reason, not just because it is one category, but guys like Valverde or whoever it may be are blowing saves early, and you're going to see a lot of turnover at that position in a month or two from now.
The one thing about our league that's different, though, and that's why you have to take your league into account, is we have some extra pitching categories, and if you keep your pitching numbers or your innings low enough with a good amount of relievers, you can win a lot of categories in our league. So you really have to take each league, but I understand in a typical 5x5 there is too much emphasis on closers.
Yeah, you're right. You make good points, obviously, depending on the type of league you're in and stuff like that, your innings pitched, no doubt about it. So you got to take
We have a different league, though,
Right, yeah, well, our league is insane. It's like a second job, like you had said before. It's ridiculous.
Oh, and it started today, and I love it already.
I don't love it. I think I'm like 2 for 14 already.
Already, you're mad. 2 for 14, you're mad on a Thursday opening day.
I am mad. I'm furious. I'm going to drop everybody. You kidding me?
You're going to be in 13th place next Monday.
Well, I expect to be in 14th at the end of the year. Oh, my God. So, anyway, yeah, so good starting pitching. But, yeah, you're right. The bullpens didn't look great. And, we'll see turnover as the year goes on. the Phillies are very interesting to me because they do have some young talent, but you look at the guys who are in that lineup today. You know, you're missing Howard and Utley, so you replace them with guys like Ty Wigginton.
Yeah, who was the right side of their defense? It was Wigginton and who was their second baseman?
Yeah, this Galvis character who I didn't even know before today. That's exactly the point. So, I mean, you know, when they looked like they were going to be a powerhouse going in, they're just...
I like Pittsburgh, though. That's one of my sneaky teams. So I think Pittsburgh's pretty good, and I think they'll put up some good games against people.
Well, I know you love Andrew McCutchen. You have some sort of male infatuation with him. There's no doubt about it.
I think it's the dreads. I don't know. Yo, and also, just to throw this out there, it is always a blessing to get to listen to Vin Scully on an opening day.
Yeah.
When you have the package, you're able to hear his greatness, so that's happening as we speak also.
Well, speaking of that, how's my boy Clayton Kershaw doing? You know that's my guy.
Well, Vin Scully reported that he was upchucking and using the restroom, which I will keep the word out of this podcast, and he did report that during the game, but he's still doing good for a guy who has the flu and is upchucking.
That's all right. That's a pretty good
That's a word only an 85-year-old man would use, but I love it.
Upchucking, right. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. All right, well, I hope he's okay from my fantasy perspective and nothing else, because I don't care about the Dodgers. I just want some wins. I want some wins. So, what games we got coming on tonight? What's coming up soon?
I think this is it. This is the last game tonight is Dodgers-Padres, so
all right.
Late games.
All right, and yeah, I'm looking at that brawl right now that you were talking about on TV. I guess they're just getting frustrated. They're in like the 12th inning over there, so they just want to go home, get this game.
Yeah, Masterson had a great game today. I think he had 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. He pitched 8 innings, and then Perez just came in and just blew it all out.
I guess you can say Masterson was masterful today, huh?
Yeah, and the Marlins' offensive issues continue into today.
Let's talk about that for a minute because I hope they lose every game. I want them to go 0-162. I really do. We all know that's not going to happen. But besides Reyes and Hanley Ramirez' haircut, that may be the ugliest thing in Florida besides the new stadium. What a disgusting place that is. What color? Is that the lime green mean machine?
I actually like the colors of the stadium. I think it's bright and fun. I don't like the thing that I was telling you about, the monstrosity in center field.
Awful.
But I'm a fan of the green walls. I do enjoy those.
It looks like an optical illusion to me. I feel like I'm going to go blind when I'm looking at this thing.
I think the dog reported that Oral Hershiser said that it looked like a cruise ship and a spaceship had a baby. So I don't know how accurate that quote is, but that's from the dog's mouth.
All right, and straight from Oral Hershiser. That's interesting. All right. Okay, well, yeah, look, I'm definitely not a fan of that stadium, but I'm a fan of the Cincinnati Reds. They put in a good performance today. Johnny Cueto pitched great, and I really like that lineup. And like I said, I picked them coming out of the National League. In that division, what do you see out of there with, the Reds, the Cardinals, or whatever? Give me your thoughts.
I think the Cardinals are still going to be good, but, the Reds have a solid lineup, and Cueto looked good, and I even noticed, I don't remember him having that delivery. I don't know if he did that, got that more El Duque-style delivery, but he looked good out there. I think it's going to be between the Cardinals and the Reds, though. I still think the Cardinals are good.
Oh, no, the Cardinals are good. You got to worry about the pitching a little bit with Chris Carpenter. We don't know when he's going to come back, if he's going to come back. Wainwright coming off the surgery. So, yeah, they do have questions, but yes, obviously a good team, and we'll see how that happens because...
Scott Rowland is still out there, getting dirty, scooping balls, getting hit. So, they have a solid offense with the young guys and some veterans.
Yeah, I hear you. Scott Rowland has no business batting cleanup in any order as he did today. I don't know why that happened, but anyway, whatever. Another story. So... let's just kind of focus on the AL East a little bit because, like I said, the Blue Jays are in action today. The Red Sox lost their first game.
Oh, that was my favorite game of the day.
I bet it was. I'm sure it was.
Red Sox losing is my favorite game of the day. Because they got that little bit of hope, yes, we came back, and then they lost. So I love that.
Hey, I'm not a Red Sox fan either. I hate that whole division, as a matter of fact, so I could care less if they all just blow up that division altogether. But the Yankees are coming around tomorrow. They got some pitching questions, with Pineda now. We don't know what's going to be the story with him. He's going to be in the DL for a little bit. Is Pettit going to be the fifth starter? Is you're going to get something out of Hiroki Kuroda? Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that. I don't know. I'm not. The pitching staff worries me a little bit. I don't worry about the lineup, but it's going to be a tough division, Ron.
Of course it is, and you start with CC, and then you just go from there. But we were surprised last year with what Garcia and Colon gave us. So who knows who will step up this year, and maybe Kuroda will give us good innings. And if Pedea's injury is not too serious, I do love that guy. He had a pretty decent year as a rookie. So I think, and Nova, like I'm fine with the Yankees pitching staff. I think it's going to be all right.
All right, we'll see. I want to ask you this now because of obviously the MLB playoff new format that we got with now there's 2 wild card teams and everything. You know, I got to thinking about breaking this down, and you know, I really don't like it. And you know, I'll save the whole story for another time. We've actually gone into it a little bit, but think about it like this, Ron. Let's say the Red Sox and the Rangers are the last 2 wild card teams, but the Rangers have, I don't know, an 8-game better record than the Red Sox. Now they have to play 1 stinking game. Is that fair that the Rangers was so much better than the Red Sox that whole season?
I guess the whole reasoning behind it is no matter what your record is, if you're not winning the division, you have to play an extra round to make it through. And I think it can only help because it puts more emphasis on winning a division, so teams won't be satisfied winning a wild card when you know it's a one and done. And last time Bud Selig expanded the playoffs, it worked out great no matter what some people said. So I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt, see how it plays out the first time, and then let's see how we feel about it.
I think it's going to be exciting. I don't doubt that. I'm sure the 1-game playoff will be a lot of fun. You know, everything's riding on this 1 game. I just look at it I know that life isn't fair, baseball isn't fair, but it just doesn't seem fair to me now. You're going to add in an extra team from each league.
Well, like last year, you know, there was no incentive for being a wild card. You got to play a team, and so I'd rather it be that there was a penalty for winning the wild card with this 1-game playoff than you win it and nothing happens. You just get to go right in the playoffs. So I think it's good that they put more emphasis on the divisions.
All right, hey, look, that's a good point, Ron. It's definitely a good point. It does put more emphasis on winning the division. So I appreciate that whole thing.
The thing that's funny is what adding an extra team does is it potentially creates more of those 1-game playoff situations because now there's even more teams vying for certain spots. So we could have more of what we saw last year, which would be interesting.
Right, yeah, last year was great. That's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
But that's the thing. You add another playoff spot, that's another team that's in the mix that, so we'll see what happens.
No, I hear you. And baseball still has the least amount of playoff teams out of all the major sports that make it. So, there is obviously credibility there. And we'll see how the whole thing plays out. It's just a 162-game season, which is already long enough. We'll see. So as far as the playoff teams that are really going to possibly come out, we know the Yankees, Red Sox will be there. Blue Jays, possibly Rays. I mean, that division is so good, but we know the Tigers are coming out. We're pretty sure the Angels and Rangers, one of them's going to be a wild card, one of them's going to win the division. You got any sneaky teams out there for me?
I like Pittsburgh. That's one of my sneaky teams, not to win, but to make the playoffs and play tough. And Washington looked pretty good today with that start from Strasburg.
Is this Pittsburgh thing because you love A.J. Burnett? Is that what that's all about? Like, do you think he's
I don't know.
a star?
I feel like they had a good run last year towards the end, and I don't see why they can't do it again. I like their lineup, and I don't know. Sometimes I just pick teams that I want to root for, and they're one of them, and I think they're going to be good.
All right. Well, for your sake, I hope so. I know you got them in the.
It's okay. Sometimes you make predictions that don't turn out, right? But you just gotta roll with them.
Hey, even Nostradamus got a few wrong, so there's no doubt about it. No doubt. All right. So in the last about minute and a half we have over here, we'll just kind of break down the fantasy real quick. How was your day so far? I mean, who were your big studs that popped out?
Well, I had Murphy, who was hitting the ball, so that was good. I like his 3-position eligibility, so I'll take that. And I had Masterson and Cueto today, both throw gems.
Wow, look
going up against Leighton, who had Verlander and I forget who else he had. He was your Lester, but I was going up against some big dogs too. But I had a decent day.
All right, nice, not bad. So far, I haven't had anything. I've got a sneaky save out of our new Met closer, Frankie Francisco, so I'm happy about that. Like I say, he's going to have a lot of opportunities if he stays healthy because they're going to be in close games all year. So I'll just ride him out for a while. Like I said, Joe, I didn't really get anything out of anybody. I mean, Joey Votto's my big stud. I think he got a hit and he walked, and really nothing going on.
Always tomorrow and every day after that for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
That's how we do it in fantasy baseball.
That's how we do it, fantasy baseball, second job. So we got to stay on top of it, and we will. And we'll come back next Thursday, and we'll break down the first week of fantasy and the first week of Major League Baseball. What do you say?
All right, buddy. I'll be here.
All right, my man. Thanks for coming in, Ron. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next week. We are out, rootforsports.com. Check out the website. Always leave your comments. We got MLB predictions up there, NFL predictions. I know it's early. NBA playoff. Vote for who's going to the big game, the finals. It's all right there. www.rootforsports.com. Thanks for hanging. We'll see you later.